Hello there and welcome back to Pallegney. It is September and as usual we have a whole lot to get done today. I want to cultivate the big potato field and the sorghum field because they both have stones in them. We need to drill barley in our medium-sized field for next year's chicken feed. We need to mow the grass in the small field where we had previously had oats. And I'm thinking that I might plant grass in the other small field that we harvested potatoes from as well. So, with all that in mind, let's get started. I'm going to do my usual morning check of our chickens, see how they're doing. So they're doing good. They have enough food for another month or so. And let's check our productions. Something I did notice yesterday. Not all of the potato recipes actually need vegetable fat. It's only the kind of more advanced recipes. So what we can actually do here is we can start making premium potatoes from regular potatoes and water. Off camera last night, I did deliver a few tank loads of water to the potato plant. So you can see there we have 40,000 litres of water. So I think what I'm going to do is start production of premium potatoes. We just check here at the output just to see how we have premium potatoes set up. Yeah, I did set them to distributing, and what that means is that they will instantly go back into the input of the potato factory and then they can be used for further processing. So let's start that up. Be interesting to see how quickly it goes through our potatoes. Okay, it's going through them pretty quickly, but we have enough, so that's okay. Let's see if we can actually activate any other recipes. So we can't do French fries because we need vegetable fat. We can't do potato gratin because we need cheese. We need vegetable fat for that. We need milk and butter for that. We need corn and all the vegetables. Vegetable fat, corn, milk and cheese, and many things. Also, many things. Croquettes is the most complex and produces the most valuable product. We're probably going to be able to do this next year at some point if we buy a dairy, because we're going to be getting goats towards the end of the year. Once we get some income, the goats will produce milk, which can be turned into butter. And we're already producing bread, so we're going to be able to produce the most valuable recipe without too much difficulty as if we buy a dairy. So I might have that as like a midterm kind of goal here. Anyways, all that said, let's think about how we're going to approach this month. And what I'm going to do is hoit over the fence, because that's our morning routine. And I think first off, I'm going to grab the big tractor and I think I'm going to start by cultivating the sorghum field. I'll go around the headland of the sorghum field, and what I might then do is check the mowers to see if there is a mower that can be pulled by the small tractor, and then we can start mowing the grass. That seems like a good plan. I'm just wondering if I should mulch this field. It's, I feel like we are giving ourselves too much to do. And actually, what I should probably do first is drill the barley, because the sooner we get that done, the sooner it will be ready. So that's a priority for this month, whereas if that sorghum field doesn't get cultivated this month, it's not the end of the world. So let's take care of our barley first of all. I was thinking yesterday off camera what I might do for next season is switch the fields around in terms of the crops we have in them. I think I'm going to plant soybeans in the big field that we have potatoes in, because that's a lower yielding crop and it won't require as much back and forth to our farm. And then the fields that are near to our farm, so the one that currently has grass in it and all of the ones that have soybeans, I'm going to merge them. I might merge them all into one field, I'm not sure, but I'm going to plant potatoes in all of those fields. I did some calculations and the total size is roughly about the same. Those three fields surrounding our farm are about 4 hectares, and that's roughly the amount of potatoes that we planted this season with the 2 fields. So I think it's going to be a good swap, and I think it'll be much easier to harvest the potatoes, get them into their respective storages without driving around too much. And then this field, obviously I'm planting barley in here ready for next season, and the sorghum field will remain the same. And we might end up buying an additional field as well. We will see what happens when the time comes. Okay, so I'm going to finish off drilling barley in this field, and I'll probably put it on a worker once I've been around the headland, just so I can explore our lawnmower options, but I will rejoin you in a bit once we've made some progress. Okay, so we are almost done drilling barley in this field for our chickens. I also went over to the vehicle store and rented a mower and tedder. I decided to go for just a small front-mounted mower and a rear-mounted tedder, and that way the tractor only has to do one pass to do both the mowing and the tedding. I decided to ted all of the grass and turn it into hay bales for this year, because we don't need the silage bales until we have the goats next year to complete level 3 VIP order, so there's no point in delivering the silage bales until we're ready to complete the order, and that way we have a few more bales ready for our pellet maker this winter. And so next task is to see if I can drill grass in that field just there that had potatoes in it. I seem to remember that with potatoes and root crops you have to cultivate before you can drill, but I'm going to give it a try just to let's see if we can actually drill grass in here. Oh, you can. Okay, I thought that you actually had to cultivate first, so this is good news. I'm going to do the headland of this field and get this drilled with grass, and then we can have 2 grass fields for making hay bales, and we don't have to rely on our neighbours and be bale pirates this year. Although we may still need to do that, because I'm not sure we're going to have enough money to last us until we get some income. November is the first set of income for the year when we'll be selling our eggs. Hopefully we're going to be getting around 35,000 euros from that, so we may be able to get away with not doing any contracts for our neighbours this year. Although doing a baling contract and getting 10 or so extra bales, as well as about 10,000 euros, might be an idea next month or so. We will see how we go with our own fields. Okay, so I'm going to finish getting this field drilled with grass, and I will come back to you shortly. Okay, so we are making good progress with our drilling and rolling for the month. We've got the AI worker rolling the barley field that we drilled. And I've just stopped by the store, so you probably saw that the AI worker made an absolute hash of mowing and windrowing the field because it was using the width of the windrower, which was slightly wider than the mower. It was using that as a guide, so it missed out strips. So I went over and did some of it, and then I just kind of gave up. But now we are back over at the store, and look at what we have attached to the front of our little tractor. It's a front-mounted windrower. Now, I'm not intending on using it with the little tractor. I'm just picking it up and taking it back to the farm while our big tractor's busy. But what this essentially allows us to do is windrow and bale in one pass. So this is going to make our operation, our grass mowing operation over winter, much more efficient because we can mow and ted with our small tractor and those attachments, and then we can windrow and bale in one pass with our large tractor. Just trying to make our operation a little more efficient here, and I think we are going to succeed in that. So we'll get this back to the farm, we'll see how our big tractor's doing, and then we will take a look at what else needs doing. I believe we need to spread lime on that field that we just sowed grass in, so I'll take care of that with the small tractor next, while the large tractor continues to roll the barley field. So I will continue with that task, and I will rejoin you again once I'm done. So it looks like the AI worker doesn't want to do any of this field, so it looks like I'm completing it myself. I will jump back over to the other tractor with the windrower and the baler afterwards. This field is almost done. I don't want to put the other field on a worker just yet because it's my first time using that windrower, so I want to demonstrate that to you, show you how cool it is. I'm not entirely sure it's realistic. I don't see why it wouldn't be, just having a front-mounted windrower with a rear-mounted baler, but I don't know. I'll let someone with more experience in real-life farming decide whether it's realistic or not, and whether it actually happens in real life. If you want to let me know, of course, feel free to post in the comments. I'm always open to being educated about these things. So we'll just get this field finished. And I know by the time this episode airs that what I'm about to say won't be news anymore because I'm recording these quite far in advance. But the day I'm recording this, Farming Simulator 25 was announced. I know, it was 2 months ago now. Like I said, it's not news anymore. But yeah, really excited to play the new version. Waiting to find out the tech specs to see whether I need to buy a new graphics card for it, but I definitely intend on jumping on that as soon as I can and starting a new farm. Until it is released, I'll probably be playing Pallegney. I don't think it's worth starting a new farm between now and then, even though it's still 5 months away from the record date of this video. Don't see the point in starting a new farm. We also have plenty to do, plenty of adventures to explore in Pallegney. You can expect this series to continue until at least the release date of FS25. Once FS25 does release, I might be recording and releasing them at the same time. I won't be recording FS22 anymore, but I may have quite a large backlog of episodes to release, and so I may be releasing them at the same time as I release FS25 episodes. Okay, back over to our funky new little toy. Look at this. We are windrowing and baling in the same pass. This is very cool. So let's get a couple of passes of this done. This saves us so much time with windrowing and baling in separate passes. Okay, so windrowing and baling done. I'm not sure whether to keep that windrower and look at doing a contract next month. We're going to need it again for our own fields in November because the grass will have grown fully in both fields. But I'm wondering if I should return it and then re-rent it in November, or whether I should keep it and look to do a contract next month. I will continue cultivating this field, and once I get the stone picker back from the store, I will check to see whether I need to rent a deeper cultivator to be able to do that. I also need to send this tractor down to the petrol station and fill up with fuel. I will do that as well in a little while. The jobs are continuing to mount up. Okay, quick progress update. We're making good progress on cultivating the sorghum field so that we can pick up the stones. I did test out the stone picker, as you probably saw, and it can pick up the stones from a shallow cultivated field, so that's good. What I'm aiming to do is finish cultivating this field and then sending the tractor over to the petrol station to fill up the tank, and I'm thinking maybe I should get it repaired as well, although a part of me doesn't want to get it repaired until I've cultivated the other field, because the stones are just going to damage it again. So I may just fill up with petrol and go do the other field and then take care of the repair once I've done the other field. That seems like a better idea, because even if the other field knocks the maintenance down to 0, it can't knock it past 0, whereas if I get it fully repaired, it might knock it down more than it would if it tried to go past 0. I think that makes sense. It does to me anyway. So we'll get this field finished with the cultivating. There's just this small strip left to do on this side, and then a small patch on the other side. And then we'll head over to the petrol station and the other field. We will get the headland of the other field cultivated, and we'll set a worker loose on the rest of it, and then we'll start picking up the stones in this field. Okay, so our worker has a full tank, and what I'm thinking about doing, just because I'm a bit of a delinquent, is just dumping it in the river if I can, rather than taking it to the landscaper. It's a little mischievous, a little naughty, but I'm going to see if it works, because it will save us driving over to the landscaper. So this full tank's only going to be worth about €200, and it's really not worth taking it to the landscaper, so let's see if we can just dump it in the river. No, you can't do it. I was really hoping I'd be able to dump it in the river there. No, I literally can't. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh well. I will be responsible, take it over to the landscaper in that case. Unfortunately, we're going to have to do a few more trips back and forth to the landscaper, because that is the only place we can get rid of them for now, seeing as the river won't take them. Okay. So €220. Not really worth it, but we are quite low on funds, so I guess every couple of €100 helps. Okay, let's get back over to our sorghum field and we will line ourselves up where we left off. We'll set the AI worker loose again, and then we'll head back over to the potato field and continue cultivating. Okay, quick check-in with a progress update. So we have finished picking up the stones off of our sorghum field. So that is complete and ready to be limed whenever we get a chance, maybe next month, maybe the month after. We have taken 2 loads of stones over to the landscaper. Annoyingly, our stone picker was full with a tiny amount of the sorghum field to go, so we had to take it over to the landscaper a second time and then back to the sorghum field. But it's now complete and we're on our way over to the potato field. We can see in the distance there that the AI worker is doing a grand job of cultivating the field, ready for us to pick the stones up. So we will continue with our task. Don't see any issue with getting these stones collected this month, and then we can return the stone picker. I'm probably going to have to do 2 or 3 passes of the field. I wonder if we'll catch up with the cultivator. We do have a slightly wider working width and a faster working speed, but I'm not sure that we are quite fast enough. Maybe that can be a challenge for us, considering that we can turn around faster if we drive manually, and we have that slight width advantage and a significant speed advantage. I think the cultivator is 12 kph, whereas we are 17. Although thinking about it, we're going to have to take a couple of trips at least to the landscaper to empty our tank, whereas the cultivator won't, so don't think it'll be much of a race. They'll definitely finish before us. It was an interesting thought though. quick break in the time lapse for an update. So the large tractor has finished cultivating the field with a power harrow. So I'm folding the power harrow up, attaching it to the small tractor, sending it back to the farm. And I'm going to put the big tractor on the stone picker just because it's a little bit faster. The stone picker is full again, so I need to take it over to the landscaper, empty it out. Let's quickly beat this tractor off of the field because otherwise it's going to hold me up. Once I've taken it over to the landscape and emptied it this time, I should be good to finish off the rest of the field. And then we can probably call it a day. What I do want to do before we end this episode though is double check how our potato production is doing. See how many potatoes it's used this month, because that'll give us an idea on how long our supply of potatoes is going to last. I'm definitely interested to see how that is looking. Not forgetting that we don't want all of our potatoes to be converted into premium potatoes. We do want some non-premium potatoes for some of the recipes. So once we've finished clearing the stones out of the field, we'll check to see how many have been used. Now where are we? We are just in here. So this should be the last empty, and I can just get the rest of the field complete and send the rest of the stones back to the vehicle store. Like the terrible customer I am, I'll probably just cut to when we're done because you can't see much in this state of light. So I'll see you back over at the farm once all of the stones have been collected from our potato field. So we've used 13,000 litres of potatoes over, not even over the space of a month, is it? It's more from 7 AM, so over 12 hours, so 26,000 it will use over the space of the evening. And if we look at, if we go over to here, what do we have in terms of premium potatoes? So we have 3,000 litres of starch, which is a byproduct of our premium potato production. And we have 3,000 litres of premium potatoes. Do we have any recipes that we can start producing? I don't think we do until we get vegetable fat next month. We don't, but that's okay. So I'm going to leave the premium potatoes production going overnight, and we'll see what we have when morning arrives next month. Obviously, we can harvest our soybeans. We can start producing more recipes in our potato production. Anyways, it's pretty dark. I'm about to head to bed. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will hopefully see you in the next episode. Until then, bye for now.